Hi guys, welcome to Algebra Online. Today we are going to solve multi-step equations, and so we really want to focus on identifying what term to move first today, and then we are also going to be combining like terms on the same side of the equation. So we always have our opener, we're taking notes today in this video, and then you have your homework assignment for today. All right, so multiplying Monday. We are simplifying this expression, and within this expression, the 3 is multiplying that x, right? The 6 is multiplying the y. Then we have 4, the 8 and the x, and then minus y. But we want to simplify, which means we're going to combine like terms. So what we're going to do first is we're going to identify which terms are like. So the 3x is also a common term with the 8x. And I always circle the sign that's in front of it because it does belong to it. So 8x and 3x is 11x. And then next we want to identify the y's. So we have 6y and a minus y. So that would give us a plus 5y. And then we just have a 4, which doesn't have a like term. And so that is our final answer. Okay, so hopefully in your notes you're giving yourself a really nice title, Solving Multi-Step Equations. Taking good notes is huge in math, and so I want you to pause this video a lot, take time to write down the title and the problem, and then press play. And so here we go. We are going to distribute the 7. But I do want to talk to you about our goal. Our goal when we're solving multi-step equations is we just want to get that x by itself. But we do need to distribute the 7 first to both terms inside of the parentheses. So we have 84 equals 7x plus 56. Okay, and so from last week, we learned about two-step equations, which now there are 2 steps left to solve for x. So we are now going to subtract the 56 from each side of the equation. And 84 minus 56 gives us 28. And 28 now equals the 7x because these cancel. All right, so the last step is to divide because 7 is multiplying this x, and the opposite of multiply is divide. So now we need to divide by 7 on each side, and x now gives us a final answer of 4. Okay, let's do number 2. Number 2 is much larger, but no worries. We're going to keep following those same steps. We're going to distribute the -5 first. Oh, also pause this video, give yourself time to write this down before you start. So we're going to distribute the 5, and we do not distribute it to this -6. We do not. It's outside of the parentheses. We're leaving it alone for right now. So we have -5x. Minus 20, subtract 20 because we have a -5 times a positive 4. Now I'm going to drop down that -6, and it still equals a -86. I know it might seem tedious to rewrite things over and over again, but it's very important to do that when we have a multi-step equation so we don't lose track of any of it. Okay, so now let's take a look. This is our equal sign. Our goal is to get the x by itself. We have 2 x's, right, on the left side of the equal sign. So what we need to do is we need to combine those like terms. So when we combine them, I always just usually circle them. That's just my strategy that works for me. And I always circle the sign that's in front so I don't forget about it. So I have a -5x and I have a -6x, which gives me a -11x. And then now I'm going to drop down the -20, and it equals -86. Great. Now we have a 2-step equation, and now we can add 20 to each side. So add 20 to each side, and now we have -11x equals a -66. And then the last step is to divide each side by -11. So let's do that. Divide by -11, divide by -11, and x is a +6 because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. All right, how are you guys doing? I know I can never hear you, but I always feel like I should say that in the video just because it's like naturally what I do. Okay, so next example, here we go. Do you see where you can distribute? Yes, hopefully you're saying yes right now. We're going to distribute this 7. I want to caution you though. I want you to stop right now. This is the most common mistake students make. They want to do this first, -2 plus 7, and they want to write a 5. Don't do it. Don't do it because this 7 is multiplying. In order of operations, multiplying comes before adding. Okay, so super important. Please don't add those two together. It is not correct order of operations. We must multiply. All right, now we got that out of the way. I'm going to drop down that -2 because I'm not going to multiply with it, or I'm just dropping it down. Then I have 7 times 3, which is a plus 21x. Then I have 7 times -4, which is a -28, equals 138. Okay, doing good? Now we always should ask ourselves, find the equal sign on this side of the equation, or sometimes it's on the right side too. Do you see any terms, right? This is a term, this is a term, this is a term. Any of these 3 that are like terms that we can combine. And hopefully you're telling me yes right now. It's -2 and a -28, because those are the only 2 that don't have an x, right? So we can combine those 2 together. And I owe you $2, I owe you $28, I owe you 30. Good. Now we're going to bring down the plus 21x, and it equals 138. All right. So now let's add the 30 to each side. And we have 21x equals, what is this, 168? All positives, all of our negatives look good, life is good. Last step is to divide by 21, and 168 divided by 21 is 8. And we're done. All right. I know it seems like a lot once you start getting into the groove, and we're going to be doing this for a couple days. Well, actually doing it for a while. I have one more here before I give you 2 for you to try on your own. So let's do one more together. Let's go ahead and distribute that 7. Good job. So we have 7 minus 7, 14, 20, 28, k. Subtract the 8 equals a -85. All right. Do you see any like terms that we can combine? I do, right? It is, hopefully, you see it's the 7 and the -8. So 7 minus 8 is a -1. We're going to drop down everything else. So subtract the 28k, and it equals a -85. Okay, so now we are going to add 1 to each side. So +1 and +1 now gives us -28k equals a -84. All right, last step is to divide by the -28. And k is a +3, right? -84 divided by a -28 is a +3. Okay, I really want you to try these on your own. I really want you to pause, write them down, pause this, and try these 2 on your own, and let's see how you do when you come back. Okay, welcome back. Here we go. Did you distribute that 8? I hope you did. So you have, what is that, -32 plus an 8x equals a -88. Then hopefully you added the 32 to each side, and you're left with the 8x. 8x equals a -56. And then when you divided by 8 on each side, did you get x equals -7? All right, and if you didn't, that's okay, right? Pause, find your mistake. That's how you learn, is finding your mistake and fixing it, not just by listening to me and copying this down. You learn by trying on your own. All right, so let's do the next one. Did you do this? Did you do -2 plus 4? I hope you didn't. And if not, if you did, that's okay, fix it. But we are going to distribute the 4. Yeah, distribute the 4. I'm going to bring down the negative 2, and then it becomes a positive 20 plus 4 times 2 is 8x equals 82. All right, do you see any like terms? I see a negative 2 and a plus 20. Those two are our like terms, which gives us 18. Plus an 8x equals the 82. So then the next step is we're going to subtract the 18 from each side. And when we subtract the 18 from each side, we have 8x equals 64. Divide each side by 8, and x equals 8. Okay, did you notice that we showed a lot of work for these problems? This is what you need to show when you submit your homework, okay? Please don't just submit answers. Show me all the steps, nice and clear. Take clear pictures so I can see your work and see how you're doing. And that's it, guys.